to the booth.
Well, it's out there. It's out there.
The other thing too is if you want to speak around,
That'd be a good idea.
I can do that speaker.
Maybe. We'll see how this starts.
Welcome, everybody, to the X-Rock Live podcast. My name is Tiffany Andrews, and we are brought to you by our 2025 sponsors of JM Rigging Supply, Mother's Off-Road Recovery Motorsports, Radial Dynamic, Wheeling for Warriors, and Kincaid Fabrication. Tonight, I have my co-host, Cord Reside.
What's happening?
And then our guest and a special guest. We have Steve Milano and Hadley Spencer of Culpepper Customs.
Hey there.
Hey,
What's happening, guys?
Just getting working on finishing up this build. We're at the end finally.
That's always the worst part. It's always the nickeling dime things at the end of the build.
Yeah, we had some crazy expectations to make it to King of the Hammers with it, and we were pretty darn close, but we just had some wiring harness issues that we could not figure out. Luckily, we've got them all sorted. It's done, and now it's ready for the upcoming season of wheeling and events and different things like that.
Awesome.
Yep.
What's the build?
So the build is I'll get into that in a minute, Cord, because it's kind of a long story.
We have a lot to cover tonight, so guys, buckle up. One thing I do want to start off with, Steve, is you are pretty much acting president of the XCA. And I kind of want to cover just a little bit about that.
Sure. Well, I don't consider president. I'm involved because I love it. You know, I like being involved with rock crawling, everything. It's my life. I enjoy it. I have no problem talking to anybody. So I'll get in there and talk to Hans, or if anybody's, asking questions and so on and so forth. Nate Gilbert, him and I are kind of just like talking about everything. Erin works with us. She helps us with putting the questions up and different things like that. And then we also have another gentleman. His name is Rick. He's from Hawaii, but he's living out in Utah right now. So he's doing a little bit of consulting, just kind of working with us. But it's all just like everything. Everybody's working together to make X-Rock a better platform for everyone. So it's kind of a good thing. We're always like up for any kind of questions. And I know it's been a little bit quiet lately, but we're coming into the season now after Hammers, and now we're coming up into the next events, Famous Reading, and then the other one down in Virginia. So we're just trying to, stay active and try to, bring up some stuff.
So for people that are tuning in that aren't really aware of what XCA is, can you kind of like go into that a little bit?
Sure. So XCA is just like the X-Rock Competitors Forum as far as like voicing anything. So you're a competitor, or you're a spectator, or we used to have spotters and we don't, but we've been contemplating trying to get a bunch of evolution going within X-Rock. X-Rock's always been this top tier platform, in my opinion, for like the most extreme stuff and everything else. And I think they're trying to realize that we need to market the competitive side and multiple classes, but probably just like one other class, maybe something that's not so much, I'd like for them to see, or I'd like for spectators to see a lot of action instead of just a couple of cars that are doing a couple of things. So we're just trying to work like that, talking to Hans and trying to talk to competitors and see who do what. We've been putting up a couple little questions as far as like trying to figure out who wants to go where. And, I'm trying to provoke conversation as far as like, who would be willing to do this? What would you like to see? This, that, and the other. It's hard, but regardless, we're just trying to stay somewhat involved.
Right on. And we appreciate that because I know this is something that Hans has been passionate about for many years, and he's
Definitely.
been asking, and I know he's appreciative with behind the scenes stuff with us with X Rock, and you guys are working with him a lot. I know he appreciates that tremendously because it's helping to evolve and push the sport, and it also gives a voice not just to one or two people, it's competitors as a whole.
Yeah, I'd like to be the spot. I'd like to be the spot where like anybody can bounce questions off of, and then we can put it to a vote scenario. You know what I mean? Hans doesn't really need to deal with all the, obviously it's Hans's thing, it's X Rock and so on and so forth. But sometimes there just needs to be a communication amongst competitors that are, or even spectators and fans and stuff like that about like things that they want to be seen. And then, we can always, the main thing for the forum is for us to vote on like, what do you want to see, or, hey, what about this thing? What do you guys think about it? Well, it sucks. Oh, it's good. You know what I mean? Put together collaborations and then bring them to Hans and then actually try to get them to come to light at the events.
I saw this morning, you had something up for one of the cone questions.
Yeah.
Or something to get in one of the rules or something ironed out, I guess.
Yeah, so there's a question up there currently about the 3-tire dirty. Most of the people that are competitors of some sort all understand what that means. It's never really been an issue with X-Rock because it's not about getting through the cones. It's more about getting through the obstacle. So the cones are always like, wide enough that it doesn't really matter. They kind of guide you through the obstacle. But
yeah, generally speaking, if you're hitting a cone, you are not on the obstacle you are intended to be on.
Right. So what? But I'm just trying to. We are just trying to provoke conversations. Like, hey guys, what do you think about this? Yep. Maybe somebody says, oh well, it's stupid, but how about this? Well, that might be what we want to see. You know what I mean? Just trying to have people like be involved somewhat. I think it's for the betterment in general.
Grow the community.
Grow the community. That's exactly it.
Well, and the other half of that is it stops.
So
hopefully
we're talking
stops
about
people
the
from
forum,
blowing
though.
up.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Court.
I was going to say it kind of helps, if there's a group that's going on that covers everything, it kind of, instead of one person coming to Hans with this problem or that problem, it allows you guys to come to a group, figure out maybe a solution to that problem, and then bring it to Hans. So maybe he can figure it out from there.
Yeah. Well, he keeps an eye on all of it too. So, he's watching it all as it happens as well. But at least then he's not fielding or 20 questions from 20 people. Everybody get inside of there, discuss what they want to discuss, good, bad, ugly, what they want to see, this, that, or the other. And then, we all work together. That's the only way that we're going to get this level of rock crawling to survive is by everybody working together to do it. That's my opinion.
I agree.
So you're talking about the form, everything. Where I don't know if in the comments to kind of like show where to go to check out all this information, and also who do they reach out to? You're saying that it's like you, Nate Gilbert of M&N Off-Road, Aaron McLeod, and I forget the other guy's name. Rick.
Rick.
Do they reach out to you individually?
They can reach out to me. They could probably reach out to Nate. They can whatever. But the best case scenario is for it to be put inside of the XCA forum board, because there's the competitors board that was like, just a handful of people, only the people that have competed before, which I think that the other forum is like, I don't know, 70 or 100 people, because those are all people that are involved, be it they used to be a spotter or they're a fan or whatever like that. I think that's the better one to always throw questions into, because then it works as a consensus. And then, people can tag each other at that point in time as far as like, hey, what do you think about this? You know what I mean? Or, hey, Tiff or Hans or whoever, we can kind of keep people involved that way. That's my bet. That's my guess. My best guess.
And the forums on Facebook and everything where they could find it and join.
Yes. Yeah. Aaron has a email chain, but I think that's only from competitors from the past couple years. So, I mean, we've only had 25 competitors. You're not going to get a good, and then out of that 25, you probably got 5 or 8 that actually like answer questions or anything else. So that's why I think that the other forum's a better place for us to all kind of play and get along and figure out what we're doing. Plus it's also hyping up, you know what I mean? Like, hey, who's getting ready for the event at Famous Reading, and what do you got going on, or whatever, like that stuff,
Yeah, like Cam blowing an engine last
Yeah,
week and then
yeah.
swapping it out in 2 days so you could make it down to Texas. And
Right.
everything.
Yeah, we've been all motors, because I'm on my second motor, Cam's on his second motor. Where everybody's just changing motors for the hell of it. Unfortunately,
That's not a good day.
No,
Steve,
it's not.
I'm supposed to tell you what's up, Billy.
What's up, Billy? That must be one of them Dicky boys out there.
Yes, it is.
Good. Yeah, so we're just I'm trying to help. I'm trying to be helpful with Hans and X-Rock, because I love it. I think it's great. I doubt that I'm physically going to compete this year, because I just finished a brand new build, and I don't think I'm gonna be jumping it or hucking it off of anything. But I'm still gonna be there in support and go to the events and help out and help Cord do recovery if need be, or just be a pain in the ass on the sideline, whatever,
You've only done that once.
Yeah. I just stick to my go-to. I'll just cook hot dogs at the RV and call it good.
Your food is always phenomenal. I'll give you that.
Yep. So,
but we did the no spotter thing this year, and there was votes and everything through the XCA last season. One thing is, you were pretty badass last year. You ran spotterless all last year.
yeah, I did field and forest event last year, and I went ahead and tried to do it all spotterless. I gave Hans all my feedback on it. I think spotterless has its I think it has its place for sure, even though I do personally feel that I like having spotters involved. I like seeing spotters there. I would like to do, I don't know if I've ever said this out loud to anybody. I've thought about it a lot. I would like to do a modified spotter. I don't want a spotter in the middle of the course stacking rocks for a half an hour, but I'd like to have somebody in my ear as I'm driving. So maybe I have a spotter that's only on the course and can only tell me, hey, your rear passenger tire is stuck. You know what I mean? Not touch anything, but just to have that voice of reason in my ear. Or, hey, don't be a jerk. Calm the hell down. Go around left, or whatever like that. I'd like to potentially in the future talk about a modified spotter that is just a voice in your ear. Plus, it still is that interaction. So spectators can watch 2 people working together to drive through a course, to go over hard obstacles, and to conquer these courses that you guys are setting up for us.
That is an interesting concept.
Yep, I think it is. It's never been. I don't think it's ever really been discussed before. So, but it's something that appeals to me. So, but we'll see. We can see what happens with that. It could be one of those things too. But
it definitely gives it it definitely gives it a different perspective of the biggest problem with spotters is honestly an insurance problem. That's probably the worst part about a spotter. You never know, somebody's moving a car, spotter's going to throw a rock, the car moves, and it could end really badly.
Yes.
So, I mean, if the spotter is 25 feet away from the car. I mean, I guess it could be something that's plausible. It's definitely up to Hans, but
The comms all work for 30 feet or so, so it doesn't matter. They could legitimately be on the outside of the ropes, but they're
Yeah.
still see it, or you could just make a rule that the spotter has to be 20-25 feet away, and then I don't know. I mean, it's something that we can discuss. That's the thing. It's like during these events and during these things that what we're doing and what we're trying to do as far as growing this sport, there's multiple ways to skin this cat. You just got to work together. You got to ask these questions. You got to talk. You got to provoke conversations. You got to get engaged. I'm so sick of people all they want to do is chirp in there for 6 words that says you're stupid or something like that. Grow up. Get involved. If you don't want to be involved, I get it, but don't hamper the sport for the rest of us that truly love it and want to do more. But that's
well
rock
said.
crawling.
Incredibly well said. And we truly appreciate it 100% on our end. And we love having you at the events. If nobody has been to an event with Steve, he also is a phenomenal cook too. So not only do you bring some great commentary, because you do at times, but you do some incredible food as well. But overall, we appreciate everything.
My previous life was in the restaurant world, so I don't mind cooking for the masses. And I actually got Dickie and young Billy there. They come over I think it was after the event at King of the Hammers. They came over for some celebratory lamb chops at the RV and in the middle of the desert. So I travel with my food and my grill and make sure that we all eat very well.
I think you did the lamb chops at the West Virginia event too.
Oh yeah. Yep, I sneak them in. I have a good source for them, and I love them. So I always sneak them in when I can. Good stuff. But yeah, so I don't know, XPA stuff, X-Rock, all that jazz. I'm super pumped for this year. Like I said, we just got done building this car, so I'll have that at these events. I'm going to lead into the building and everything like that. So Hadley and I have been friends for quite a while, probably 10-ish years or so. Whenever I started progressing, Scott Tremarco and myself started progressing with the Rock Lab portals, I realized that my previous car that I drove for Greg Higgs was not going to work for me to put axles underneath it. It was too much. I didn't want to do it. So I decided to go ahead and start fresh. So I started talking to Hadley about putting a build together. I knew that he had a previous full-time job, and he was winding down and getting ready to start up his own thing. So we were in talks about trying to do this build. He wasn't quite ready yet to build an entire chassis. So I ended up getting a Hulse 2-seat chassis complete, and it was already all welded out and stuff like that. So I talked to him and said, hey, here's what I'm trying to do. Started gathering parts, got, motors and, all this stuff together. And then I brought the chassis and all this stuff to Hadley's shop here, and we started the process then. So I would have loved to have had the first Culpeper car, but obviously he probably wants that for his business opener as well. But we started talking about doing everything. So I showed up with a trailer, and then I'm like,
here you go.
here you go. So
it's been busy.
So is the game plan to keep it a single seat but a 2-seater chassis, or is the game plan to have 2 seats in it?
It fits 2 seats. No, it's built with 2 seats. But I can remove the passenger seat and put a tray in there. So it's a true car. It's a trail.
It's a trail car, yeah.
It's not like a moon buggy or anything like that. It's traditional front motor, transmission, Atlas transfer case, and of course the portals that Scott and I designed. So we have those done now. They're under Scott's car, and now they're under this car that Hadley just built for me.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else that's running the portals yet?
Hadley is Culpeper Customs, which he's in Culpeper, Virginia. Go ahead. You can tell them about you.
Yep. So I was a mechanic for the last 20 years and been building rock crawlers and trail buggies and stuff for a long time. And I just went full time at the first of this year, building the tube chassis, and Steve's buggy's the first one I set out. But I got some other things going, and some rock bouncers and some drag cars coming in the future. So we'll be hopefully be releasing some stuff later this year. And if I can get enough time once Steve takes his buggy home, I might be able to get one of my production chassis, hopefully the first one together, to have at the She Crawls event here in 2 weeks. So might have that there for people to take a look at and get some feedback on before I build it out. But I just didn't have all my ducks in a row as far as building a portal. I had the chassis design that I want to build for my production line, but that's drag axle. So as far as the portal car, I wasn't ready for that yet. So changed a good bit of stuff to make his powertrain fit, but it turned out well. I think we'll see what it does.
Yeah. I'm a typical. I've always been a V8 guy, so I went completely different world. I have a Ecotech motor, but I do have a traditional like TH350 transmission, 4.3 Atlas in it, and then all of our portals and everything under it. But I don't think I've ever owned a 4-cylinder off-road vehicle. And this one, well, I might not ever own another 4-cylinder one because this one has been a real pain in the ass. Real pain. But he's running great now. We've been working with a remote tuner, and he has it dialed in, and we're really happy with it. But we could probably fine tune it out some more, but it's working really good right this second.
It's close.
Yeah.
I have to ask because it's like been the tire gate for the last 2 years. What are you running?
What's that?
I said it's been all about tires these past 2 years. Last year it was like a big thing with the Milestars. This year, Mickey Thompson is getting all these new competitors. What are you running?
Reds. There's no better tire. Okay. I mean, I'm very impressed. I like the Mickey Thompsons. I think their compound is great. Their tread design is great. The size of the tire is great. There's never been a tire that works better than a red. So it is what it is. I mean, I'll put if somebody wants to give me a free set of tires, obviously I'm going to try them. Except for maybe I don't know if I'll be trying those, but other than that, yeah. I have reached out to a tire person too, so I might be running something different, but I'm not competing in this car. This car is just going to be a little princess pony show car for the most part this year in general. I'm going to have it at the events. I'm going to trail wheel it and stuff like that, but I can't justify building this, busting my our asses for the past 4 or 5 months and take it out to an event yet. So let me get the new shine knocked off of it, and then maybe next year I'll hit it.
We've already been talking about a single seater though.
Yeah, that's the thing. The last build I did before this one, I'm like, never again, no chance. And then I'm like, oh well, maybe I want to do one. And then this one here, I'm really like, no way am I doing it again. But now I'm already thinking about it. So we'll see. Maybe it'll be a single seater. But so the reason that all these builds are the reason that this build happened and everything else is because Scott and I were able to create our own portal. I felt the need for the industry. I thought the industry was good enough, strong enough, and I just think that it merits another option. There's a couple of portal people out there already. I talked to Scott, and we started 2 years ago. We just started chit-chatting and scratching on paper and this, that, and the other. And now we have our own portal that we are putting together and putting under these cars. The first
Can
test.
we get a closer look at it?
Oh, yeah.
You could have moved the phone
Skirt.
too.
Yeah, let's on wheels. So this is the C that gets welded onto the axle. This is a one-piece billet. one-piece billet C right here with uniballs, chromoly kingpins, and then the portal box itself is it's all 1550 driven. So it has 1550 stub shafts and axles and everything like that. That was one of the things we wanted to utilize a unit bearing to drive the gears inside of the portal box. So that's the road that we chose to go down. And we have, yeah. So it has this is the 3D printed stuff right now. And it has a 16 tooth, 32 tooth, 2.5 inch width gear, which the standard Hummer gears are about 1.9. So that yields a considerable strength gain in the gears alone, just in the width difference there. The material's the highest quality. It's 9310 material. Then this is a direct gauge shaft. This goes straight from the unit bearing into the lower gear.
So that's 40 spline shaft?
No, see, this is a 2.5 inch wide shaft. So this is 37 spline. Yeah, that spline, that 40 spline stuff is like 1.78. I think it's 1.78 inches around in diameter. With
Gotcha.
This is massive stuff. So the gentleman.
Yeah, it looks massive in your hand. That's why I asked if it was 40 spline, because it was, I just got my first set of 40 spline shafts, and I'm like picking these things up, and I'm like, these things are massive.
Yeah. It's they're not 2.5 inches around.
Choof, it's still big.
Yeah. So the gentleman the shop that I got 4 different machine shops that make all these parts, and the guy that makes the gears and this intermediate shaft, he's like, I don't think anything on earth will break that, as far as in my. So if we break that, then maybe I can get another free order of them. I don't know. We'll see. But we just got this stuff all together. So we're really testing. I'm the second car. We have the third car being built with axles under it currently, and then from there, I'm gonna it'll be available to the masses, hopefully.
So I wish you guys had another phone where you can be checking the X-Rock Live.
We got.
You have to check out the Instagram post from both the Brassininis and the Dickies, because some of that stuff I am not going to get banned on YouTube or Facebook for some of those dirty comments, but they're funny. The Brassinini is saying, hold it up to a beer can for size reference. There is actually a picture.
Let the catch up.
Yeah.
Start over with that.
They're breaking up because I can hear you fine.
Oh,
I can hear you fine, Cord, but I can't hear her. This isn't working.
But you're breaking up to me sometimes. So
okay, go ahead.
I see that Hadley is on Instagram. Check out those things, because if I repeat some of that stuff, they got some good comments. But Brassinini said about
shaft.
Oh yeah.
We
didn't name this guy Big Mike for no reason.
right.
Yeah, so that's this is the plastic one here. That's the plastic one, but
don't get a hernia now.
That's the real one.
Ooh, shiny.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's that. There's the double roller ball.
Wow, look at that thing.
That's the lower gear right there. This is a true 32 tooth, and this is a true 16 tooth upper. Right there.
1 and 2 and 3.
Yeah. It is. I mean, everything has the potential to break, but obviously when you create more mass, you kind of take that down a little bit.
Yeah.
So
I know weight in the axle is good weight. Do you know how much those boxes weigh and the C's?
Yeah. It's comparable. I mean, we went to King of the Hammers with Scott's car. We were supposed to have both cars there, but went there. So we had a full week at Hammers with Scott's car, and then we left there, and then we went to Sand Hollow and tested there too. But before we put everything together on Scott's car, he weighed everything because he Humvee boxes sitting there as well. Yep. We have all of our weights. I'm working on.
I was just curious.
Yeah, I mean they're all comparable. I think that I am probably, I don't know, 15 pounds more per corner, which is like a reasonable number in all reality.
I mean, in all reality, it's weight in good place.
That's the way I've always looked at it too. I mean, if you want weight down low, where do you put it at? You always put, that's why
In the
people
axle.
run water in their tires, right? So
That's also why people put fuel tanks on axles and everything else.
exactly. Yeah, you got to get all the weight down there. So the weight's in the right spot. I don't think it's crazy, but there's still an untested prototype box and everything like that. So it's until I have 3 cars running them and I drive it for a year and I open them up and I take a look at them and stuff like that. Then from there, we'll kind of assess and go from there. But yeah, it's been a fun project. It's pretty badass. It's pretty cool to see a year's worth of work. Scott's designing and me and him talking and collaborating and talking about everything. Like this is a one-piece billet shock mount that gets mounted right to the seat. You know what I mean? Welded on there, and that my car has them and Scott's car has them. It gives you the capability to kind of locate it where you want to. This is the
fine tune it to your own car.
Yeah. Because everybody's had, every shock manufacturer has some, little differences within them.
Well, that and every shot, somebody might be running 18-inch coilovers or something on their car. Next person might only have 14s, so you might want to move them up and down the seat a little bit to adjust the height or whatever you got going on.
Exactly. It gives you the capability to on the chassis side as well. So you don't have to run your shocks up above the chassis if you want, them down below the bar, and then you can adjust this end. It's just there's a million ways to skin this cat. There's I don't know. There's probably 20 elite builders out there right this second that are building cars and axles and this, that, and the other. I don't know, maybe 50. Who knows? Every day it's growing. But there's no one way to do anything, in my opinion. There's always a multiple ways to do anything. As far as is that, and that's all this is. This is just another way to do what I wanted to do, and I felt that this market and the extreme off-road stuff, I think it supports it. So that's why we chose to go down this path.
Everybody has their own opinions and everybody has their own stuff, and every car is different. And it doesn't matter if Jesse Haynes built 5 cars. Every one of those cars is different for some reason or another. They're different.
Well, the thing that I like is that I love people's opinions within reason. If you have an opinion or you want to make your own opinion, I have no problem with that. But why don't you ask a question instead of an assumption that you think you know everything? So if you think you know everything, fine, no big deal. But I think that asking a question and learning merits more in return than
absolutely
just chirping. But that's what the internet is great for. The keyboard warriors.
That's the same problem I have. My rotator is a Metro. In the towing industry, the Metro is supposedly the bottom of the barrel, but all the people that talk shit on Metros never ran one.
Right.
So where come run one and then talk about it. Like, I know it's not the best thing in the market, but at the end of the day, we've had it for 5 years and the truck's been a great unit for us. So
I just started watching Murphy. I love watching that dude.
You gotta get you tuned into I'm sure you've seen my channel or my buddy Rizaldi's. He does some really crazy stuff with his 85-ton rotator.
I don't know him. I mean I watch as much as I can. I can't waste my whole life watching YouTube.
Yeah. I'm the worst YouTuber ever. I keep forgetting to bring the camera. I just did I did a jackknife and a rollover last week and didn't bring the cameras with me.
Do you work for the state?
No. Well, we work for the police departments, yeah.
Oh, okay.
State police.
There you go.
So back to the off-roading stuff here.
Yeah. So what is the so the next event is Pennsylvania?
Famous Reading. Yep.
Famous Reading?
Famous Reading on a Memorial Day weekend.
Good.
And for people that are asking, we will have a post out sometime next week that are asking for more information on that.
Yeah. I've been wondering, like, I liked the venue. I didn't like the RV down in the hole, but if they put electric in or something rather like that.
No, so they actually, so when you're going in up top to the course where they had SLRC,
Yeah.
they cleared out all those trees up there, and that is going to be specific for when we're doing an event there.
Okay.
They cut down all
We have
those
our-
trees and stuff, so we're
we have our
right
own
there
campground.
next to the comp course.
That'll be cool. So we don't have to go all the way down there. We'll be able to camp up top.
Correct.
Okay. Well, that's great. How have they started signups and all that jazz already?
Next week.
Next week,
There will
yep.
be all the conversations posted up on all the social media pages of X Rock and everything like that. Hans will be making that announcement.
Okay. That's awesome.
But
So
we did have a question about going back to the portals and stuff. You said about you guys are testing it. You want to see about a year or something. Are you selling these yet?
I don't know. I have, whenever we decided to get these made, I had enough made to feed 6 cars. So I have 6 cars worth, but I'm undecided on what I'm doing with them. They will be, they could be for sale to the right person. That person needs to understand that it's prototypes and, any feedback to come directly to me. I'm not going to give them I'm not going to sell them to some Joe Blow that's going to like, whatever, ram them into a wall and then talk shit online or something stupid like that. But if the right person comes along, I have the availability or the capability to put them in a set of portals as well.
So for the people that may be interested or the right person, would they reach out to you or do they reach out to Rock Labs? Okay.
No, just get a hold of me. It's easier that way. I'm the only person that answers this damn phone all the time. None of my friends answer their damn phones. Yeah. So it just depends. It depends on who the person is and what's going on and all that jazz. But, I still need to put forth, I need to get a little more time on them, but they're going to be, I'm actually very happy with where we are currently. I mean, out of the gate, first run, a car at King of the Hammers doing all the trails for a week, and then left there and went straight to Sand Hollow and did some pretty good shit, like pretty good stuff right out of the gate. So I'm happy with where they are, but there's always one thing that could go wrong. But it's a box with 2 gears in it. It is simplistic in a way. So all the design is in there. So we just gotta test them a little bit more, right?
Okay, well, I'm switched over to Instagram because these don't come over onto our screen. It's saying question time from the Peanut Gallery. And I'm
From
sure
who?
you know who is saying that.
From who?
Brassanini.
Okay.
What's the scrub radius versus JHF or 74 weld? And which are your 2 main competitors?
I'll be polite. It's fine. We're tractors. We're going 2 miles per hour in the trail. If you're a truck, you worry about scrub radius. If you're a tractor that's driving in the rocks, bouncing it off the rocks and rolling over like a dead dog, then 2 miles per hour. If you have a little more scrub radius than the next person, it's fine.
Some scrub is good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can show you posts from other people that says scrub radius is good. Some people that actually know that as well. But it to each his own. It doesn't matter. I'm not. You're comparing apples and oranges in a way when you look at the products that this box is made out of and how it's made comparatively to whatever. They're just different things.
I think it could definitely affect like braking and steering at a high speed, but at 2 miles an hour,
Yeah.
I think it's negligible. And to be honest, like using it to your advantage, being able to hook a tire up on top of something, a rock, and then pull yourself up onto there, could be a good advantage.
That's been a comment before about like, oh, well, if you're holding this line and your scrub radius turns you and it pushes you off the line. I'm like, well, if you want to say the negative side of it, you got to say the positive side of it.
Yeah.
If it's gonna push you off of it, it's also gonna help you get on it.
Yeah, Dickie's saying it creates traction.
Yeah. It's just there's the market is the market is there. You just have to try something different. Everybody doesn't have to do one thing one way. Like I said before, there's most ways to do the same thing. And I'm going to stick to the fact that we're tractors. We're driving around at 2 miles per hour. 100 miles. Listen, 100 miles per hour or more, then maybe we'll talk about it. But other than that, it is what it is.
Yeah, Dickie says bind them bitches up and find the traction.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, it is what it is. But I'm happy as hell with them so far.
It's something different.
I think we may have lost Cord, by the way.
I see him froze up over there, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's something different in the industry too. I mean, every time you bring something different, and there's going to be people that naysay it and don't know what's going on yet, but we're testing it. Yeah. So once you figure out what, whether
everything
you want it to or not, make changes, research and development, evolve, as you're growing. So.
Everything is strange when it's new, but it's not strange after it's been around for a minute. You know what I mean? There's the same people that are, the same people that have brought forth the biggest innovations within off-roading has all heard the same thing from the same naysayers. So it's, to each his own. I myself am more about I'm more about like, hey, the market is big enough. You know what I mean? You can't have one person that only makes one winch. You know what I mean? There's 10 winch people out there making winches because the market is big enough. So
exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. But
we'll find out.
We'll find out. I guarantee
Well, we're excited to see. And I know you said about your guys are going down to the sheet crawls. You'll have it down there and you'll be doing the testing. So we're looking forward to all those different videos.
Yep.
And just checking everything out. I don't know, do you have up on social media? I know you sent some really cool videos with like the machining and everything with that as well.
Yeah, it's Rock Lab Industries and everything. Instagram, email, Facebook, everything's just Rock Lab Industries. This is the first product. And we got 6 more.
Do you have other secret products coming out?
No, I have a bunch of bad ideas in my head, and that lends to making bad decisions and poor financial decisions, in which this is a great poor financial decision. But I don't care. I'm gonna keep going.
Well, we've been invested because this is for a build and a prototype for you guys to already be testing and everything for just 2 years. I think it's phenomenal, and we've been like kind of waiting for this.
Yeah, it's been a journey. It's been great, and it kind of, in my real life world job, I'm a problem solver. So working and doing this is also a lot of problem solving, as far as like getting it done, keeping it on task, getting a hold of these people. I'm like, hey, where's my product that you told me that was going to be available 2 weeks ago? So it's a lot of that stuff.
It doesn't matter. Also, at the end of the day, you got a product. You have something physically in your hand.
Yeah.
So the fact that you did that in 2 years, from drawing on a napkin to having it on a car,
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Well, it's awesome. The more gratifying thing about it is that it's in the sport that I love. I eat, sleep, and drink and live anything and everything off-road. I love it. it's my passion in life. So developing and creating something for that is like icing on the cake.
Yep.
So now I just need to retire so I can play full time. But I don't know if that's I don't know if that's gonna happen anytime soon.
At the end of the day, there will be another part in the industry. Hopefully, it'll take off,
Yeah.
and you'll even after you're long gone, people will still want your boxes. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, they're pretty badass. I like them. I like them a lot. So
They're definitely beefy.
yeah, I mean,
Eh,
you don't want shit to break. You don't, and not like that Dana
No.
44, that green truck of yours.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Easy on the 44. Easy. I broke two shafts at Ultra 4 a couple weekends ago.
Jesus, that
I
poor
can't
truck.
win with that thing.
That
I
poor
got
truck.
I got the new truck. The new truck has 40. I got Brannick 40 spline axle shafts.
Yep,
We are not having this problem.
that's great. Yeah, he made all the shafts for me. He made all the stub shafts and the inner shafts. I called him up. I gave him exactly what I wanted. It was fast. He's always awesome to work with in general. So I just called him up and gave him all the numbers, and then he sent them out like always, fast as can be, and
Yep.
everything's exact. So I mean, it's a good business relation. I mean, luckily I've had other people that are on board with the new build, and Radflow really hooked me up with some shocks for this vehicle. Vision Wheels, they're on with this one here.
Scott Pump.
Yeah, Scott, my designer, our designer, Scott with us. I also have his steering pump on the car. We Hadley and him. Scott came down to Hadley's shop for a weekend, and him and Hadley just sat there and looked at the motor and just drew up the whole pump bracket and everything like that, and everything fits phenomenal. It was great. And then we had a little problem with the pump pulley not having enough engagement, and Hadley stared at it a second and grabbed an LS pulley and added onto the bracket, and then next thing you know, it's got like 2/3 engagement now, so there's no slipping. It's just everything on this new car has been designed and thought, and very thought forward too, because we all know that we work on them nonstop. So everything that we've done together has been thought forward about, like, hey, let's make sure that this is done right the first time, so we're not cutting up shit later and making it look like shit, like stuff like that.
So you're not me in the parking lot changing axle shafts out.
Hey, it happens to the best of us. I've walked a mile in those shoes, and that's what has led me down the path of not doing it again.
You got to remember that truck, for being turned into a wrecker, is my prototype to prove that what was trying to do was worth it in the industry. That's why I built it. And now that I've proved it, now I'm dumping a ton of time and money into another truck that's going to do it right. You know what I mean?
Is the other truck going to be at the events this year?
I hope so. I'm pushing.
That's the wrong answer, Ford.
Hans
this year.
Hans is coming supposedly next week, Monday, to hopefully I'm going to have I got the front suspension set up where I think it has to be. And Hans is going to come over on Monday and Tuesday. We're going to go over numbers for anti-squat and stuff like that to see if I have to figure out to change it a little bit. But there's suspension. Huh?
You don't have to worry about anti-squat with leaf springs.
Yeah, well, I'd have to inboard leaf springs for rear steers, so that wouldn't work out so well.
Right.
It'd be very, very tipsy-turvy if I inboard rear steer leaf springs.
Yep, that's for sure. Well, I hope
and you know what? And you know what you really don't want a tow truck to be?
What? Tipsy-turvy?
Tipsy-turvy while you're trying to tow someone through the woods.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So we should be going over the numbers next week on that. I'm hoping to set up the rear suspension so that way we can go over both suspensions at the same time. We'll see how this weekend goes with time. That's the biggest problem.
Well,
so my whole plan.
Weakness is he's too nice of a guy where he makes time for everybody else but himself. So his projects always are on the back burner.
Yeah, I know.
We've also been working on some of the truck projects here. We've been doing some other stuff. It's just been busy, especially since coming back from King of the Hammers. I spent almost a month out in California, so I came back to play Damage Control, and I just haven't caught up.
Yeah. No, I understand that. I mean, that's the hard part about where we are. I mean, it's, we are East Coast, and I want to go to Texas, and I want to go to Utah, and I want to go to California, and all that stuff. And if I want to make that stuff happen, it's my ass climbing in the seat and driving, because if I'm going,
tell me twice.
Do you foresee him doing the crawler event at Hammers again next year?
Oh yeah.
Do we see what? Sorry, you broke up.
Doing the crawler event at Hammers again and so out?
Oh, if it's up to me, I yes.
If it's up to Dave Cole, yes.
Yes. If it's up to
Dave
Hans,
is like
Hans,
if Dave had it, it would be like 3 times a year.
Yeah. Can't thank Dave enough for all this hospitality out there, man. We did have a blast out at King of the Hammers. The biggest thing is just getting everything out there and getting it done.
Yeah.
I go to Hammers anyway, so that's how this all thing started. I was like, Hans, I'm gonna go anyway. So we might all the stuff's gonna already be in the trailer. Let's get this done. And it was we went, we learned things, we found out more things. So I hope, to honest truth, that we go to Hammers every year. That's simply just because that is such a great platform, and I feel like we deserve our spot as rock crawlers at King of the Hammers.
I thought the event was great. It had some good competitors out there. There was great spectators. The courses were badass. I mean, I thought it was a great event for sure. I think that if it happens again next year, it might be double the size. You know what I mean? For the first year,
I would believe so.
It was really good. The weather was good, thank goodness. All that.
Except for the first day we got there was 6 inches of snow on the ground.
Yeah, thank goodness.
We were broke down in Albuquerque.
Oh yeah. Oh, we had an event. I mean, I could talk for about 6 hours about our event that trip alone. From us working in the shop for, I think I was up here. I was at his house for 16, 18 days in a row, working on the buggy, trying to get it. And then once it didn't go, I stopped in Nashville and stole one of my buddy's portal rigs just so I could go to Hammers, and took it out. I mean, we just the bus. Oh, the bus broke down, and the trailer tires, and you just all this shit happened. But then, and on the way home, we did mess up one thing, but nothing major. We just smooth sailed right on home. Thank goodness.
My favorite post from East Coast people going out to Hammers is always the count of trailer tires.
Oh, insane.
So I'm very thankful we only lost one trailer tire on the way out.
Yeah.
And the truck only randomly shut down one time in the middle of Oklahoma. We were literally just cruising down the road. The truck just completely shut down. The resetting circuit breaker on the truck just kind of we pulled over, and the truck was turning on and then turning off and then turning on and then turning off. Luckily, I was just able to take the 2 different breakers, flip-flop them, and we were back on the road. Just the breaker got weak.
Once you got home, did you replace that breaker yet?
No, because that breaker's now in the sleeper lights, so it doesn't draw enough to be bothered, or it's not on anything important enough to care.
Good. All right. What do you think about the events this year? You're going to put stuff up in the next week or so.
Yep.
We are.
To Chaos too.
Chaos is, we'll start working on that right after. Yep, because that'll be in August. Yeah. We will be there a week ahead of time, setting courses and cleaning up everything and making it ready for all you guys and all the spectators to be able to see.
We're actually going to have spectators this year.
Yes. And there's going to be guided trail guides as well.
Good.
They're doing it as a camp and ride weekend for Famous Reading. So there'll be people coming in, being able to ride, go on trails and stuff like that. Those people will be able to come watch us do our thing, or you guys do
Good.
your thing.
Good.
But
And
Chaos, this is going to be the first event that we ever hold at Chaos that is open to the public.
Yeah. I talked to Hans about that event and said that we need to figure out a way to get hooked up with like a local ATV shop and have them bring out a bunch of like 4-seat side by side so we can shuttle people up and down that hill. But
Right?
I don't know how well that's going to actually pan
Well,
out or not.
I bought a Jeep, so that'll be able to shuttle people up and down the hill. The wrecker will be there, and not that that helps shuttle people, but we'll be hopefully having more people show up and be able to help that as well.
Cool. Very cool. Good deal.
But
All right.
Steve Hadley, thank you so much for coming on. Again, XCA, anybody that is interested in getting involved with the competitor association, look out on Facebook to XCA, or reach out to Steve individually, Nate Gilbert, and even Aaron McLeod, Nate's better half there.
By far.
They will help you get all set up.
Yep.
And we really appreciate it on our end. I know Hans does immensely.
Yeah.
And
It's all good stuff.
Culpepper Customs. I know it's on Instagram,
Instagram,
but do we
Facebook.
have a Facebook too?
Yep, Facebook, Culpepper Customs, and then culpeppercustoms.com. And anybody looking for stuff can reach out to me or Steve and get a hold of me. And I'll have more stuff coming out in the future. And like I said, I'll be at the She Crawls event with stuff set up. If anybody needs to get a hold of me, they can.
Right on.
Yeah.
Staying busy.
Yep.
Well, we
And
appreciate
then Rock Labs too.
Yep. Yeah. Rock
You know,
Labs. Rock Lab Industries.
Well, I want to thank you guys again. Cord, always thank you for joining us. And I can't end this without thanking our amazing sponsors, Cord being one of them, a Mother's Off-Road Recovery. We have Jim Markham of JM Rigging. We have Eric Amato, Radial Dynamics, Mark St. Germain of Wheeling for Warriors, and then Chris Kincaid of Kincaid Fabrication. Guys, thank you so much. Look out for our post next week about our next event, and then we'll see you in about a week or two.
Thanks for all the sponsors. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
See you now.
Good night.
Good night.